The story of Rebekah and Isaac. Abraham was growing old. His wife Sarah had died. And Abraham looked at his son Isaac and thought, my son should know the love that I've known. Isaac should have a wife of his own. From the land of my father. That's where his wife should come from, yes. And he called in his servant who worked with him for so many years. And he said, I have a very special job for you. I want you to go back to the land of my fathers and find a wife for Isaac and bring her back here. Bring her back here. You don't want Isaac to go with me? No, Isaac needs to stay with me. I need Isaac here. You go. You go. My son should know the love that I've known. Isaac should have a wife of his own. Yes, he should. But if I go all the way there, and what if no one wants to come back? Well, servant, you can only do what you can do. I won't hold you anything against you. Someone won't come, but I want you to go. My son should have a wife, and she should be from the land of my father. So the servant set out with his camels, and he traveled back to the land of Abraham, where Abraham had come from. And he got to that village, and he got an idea. Yes. The daughters of the village come to the well in the morning to get water. That's right. Maybe she'll come, the one for Isaac. But how will I know? And so the servant made a prayer. Please, let the one who should be with Isaac ask if I need water. Ask if my camels need water. Let her be the one. Let her be the one. And then the servant watched as the young women came out with their water jugs and filled up their jugs with water. No one even looked at him, a stranger. They just did their job and turned and walked. But then, Rebekah came walking up. She filled up her jug, and she turned, and she looked at the servant, and she sang, would you like some water? Would you like some water? Water for you and your camels too, so would you? Would you like some water? He couldn't believe it. He just said, what? And she sang to him again. Would you like some water? Would you like some water? Water for you and your camels too, so would you? Would you like some water? And he said, oh yes, thank you very much, thank you very much. And she brought him water, and he drank, and his camels drank. And he gave her a couple of bracelets and a ring for her nose ornament. And he said, now that I'm in this village, might there be any place for my animals to eat a little something? I can pay. Is that possible? She said, well, probably at my home. Let me go back and ask. Stay here. So Rebekah went back to her home. She saw her brother, Laban, told him about the man at the well. Laban said, oh, we'll welcome him. He's from the family of Abraham. So Laban went and brought him back. Oh, they greeted him warmly. Food for the animals. Come, sit with us, sit with us, sit with us. Tell us about Abraham. He said, oh, he's getting old. Well, eat up. Before I eat, I need to tell you why I'm here. You see, I'm here because Abraham, old Abraham, has a son. His son's name is Isaac. And Abraham sent me to find a wife for Isaac. He didn't want Isaac to leave his side, but he wanted Isaac to find the kind of love that he had with Sarah. And I was to come here to this village to find just such a person. And when I got here, I stood near the well and I said a prayer that the right person would ask me if I needed some water. And all the daughters of the village came and no one asked me until Rebekah. She sang to me and gave me water. So I believe she's the one for Isaac. I believe it with all my heart. What do you think? Well, the family smiled. They thought it was a great idea. And the servant said, that's wonderful. Let's go. And they said, what? Right now? No. Maybe in 10 days. Maybe in 10 days. But not right now. Well, Abraham's waiting. Isaac will be waiting. I would really like to get going and bring Rebekah with me. And they said, well, let's ask Rebekah. Rebekah, would you like to go with Abraham's servant now? To go to be married to Isaac? And she sang, time for me to go. Time for me to go to meet the son who will be the one for me. Time for me to go. So Rebekah packed up and they are on their way. Now back where Abraham and Isaac lived, Isaac was up on a hillside meditating. When he finished his meditation, he rose and he looked out across and he saw camels coming and he started walking towards them. And it was Rebekah. And she started walking towards him. And he started walking towards her a little faster. Time for them to love. Time for them to love. Begin the days of sharing ways. It's time. Time for them to love. So Rebekah and Isaac were married. And it all was possible because of a generous woman named Rebekah at the well with a song. Would you like some water? Would you like some water? Water for you and your camels too, so would you? Would you like some water? that's the story.